Greetings from the library cave. I am Aspen Dracaena, your friendly neighborhood Ice Dragon Bookwyrm VTuber. Sorry, I'm just adjusting my microphone here. So I'm gonna start Okami in a moment. I'm probably not gonna talk a huge amount this stream, or not as much as usual. So I'm always concerned about human mother. She had an MRI today to check to see what's going on with her brain post concussion and everything. And she was actually kind of disoriented today. She called me at work twice and she couldn't remember if I was at work. And the second time she called me, she didn't remember that she had already called me. So I'm feeling a little kind of off kilter because of that. So mostly I just kind of want to focus on today's stream being pretty chill. I'm probably going to just do 2 hours like I usually do. I probably won't go much more than that. But yeah, so I'm definitely feeling a little bit like, things are a little uneasy. She's okay. I know that she has doctors who are looking out for her. I'm a little concerned because sometimes the doctors aren't... Oh, hey, Ocha! How's everybody doing? Hey, Wit.
Ocha, Papa just traded with 3 viewers.
Thank you so much. It's so good to see you. I was definitely trying to watch a little bit of your stream earlier, Ocha, when I was at work. It was a little difficult. We had kind of a busy afternoon. But I was just explaining, this is not going to be a quiet stream, but a quieter stream. Just because I'm feeling a little subdued. Because because human mother was a little disoriented today after getting an MRI. So yeah, I think tonight I just want to focus on being really chill and really relaxed, and just focus on how pretty this game is as usual. But yeah, if you guys do want to talk and chat, I'll interact as usual. But I'll probably just be a little bit quiet. We don't have results yet for the MRI, Digi. I think it probably will take a couple of days. Usually that's how it seems to go at the local hospital. And of course the only reason I know that is I work at a clinic, so I know often how long it takes for us to get things like x-ray reports and stuff from the hospital. Thank you so much, Wit. I really appreciate that. One of my struggles sometimes is that people in my family kind of automatically think that I'm the one who's going to be taking care of human mother. Some of them think I'm already her caretaker, which is not something we agreed upon. She's not completely helpless, though, she is struggling. And, a lot of people tend to throw responsibility on my shoulders because they think, I'm reliable and competent. Right, Ocha, exactly. You're the same person in your family and you're looking after your mom. And, I think when you love your family, you want to look out for them the best you can. But I shouldn't have to completely pause my life when there are other people who can help too. I think it's better if we all contribute, and it's not just put on one person's shoulders. Because, story of my life. Here, I'm going to switch to just chatting for a bit. There we go. So, interesting story in my life. So, the human dragon family on human mother's side, she has 9 brothers and sisters. She's a very huge family. And I think she'll be okay. I think human mother will be okay. I think it's just it could be related to concussion, things like that. But in human mother's family, my youngest aunt was the one who took care of both of my grandparents before they passed away. She was kind of expected by most all of her siblings to be the one to do that so they could live their own lives, which I think is very unfair. She had to give up a lot of stuff, a lot of her acting career, in fact, to take care of human grandmother and grandfather. At the same time, there are some concerns about how essentially the will was changed at some point so that she was left as custodian to the house instead of the house just immediately being sold and split amongst all the siblings, which wouldn't have given anybody a lot of money, a few $1,000 each, since there's 10 entire people in that family, right? But it created a lot of tension because, while on one hand, one family member was expected to do all the work, and everybody expected her to not be fully compensated for it in some way. Everybody else wasn't appreciating, that she was the one who was doing all of the work. Right. So yeah, that's the mindset some families have. I agree, Digi. Because of distance or the person they think will do the heavy lifting, TLC didn't have much to do versus how much they have to do. Exactly. A lot of people don't take an acting career very seriously. But they will take a career as a construction worker very seriously, or as a therapist, or, there's a lot of people in my family who have a lot of different jobs, both white collar and blue collar. Not a lot who have creative jobs, but a lot of people will kind of assume that because your work isn't as, 9 to 5, 5 days a week focused as somebody else's job, they think, oh, you have free time, you can do it. And it's not fair. I think we say that it takes a village to raise a child. I think it should also take a village to support our elderly, because what I see at my job is that a lot of our elderly patients who come in are lonely. They often don't have people to talk to. A lot of them are at a point where they've had to see a lot of their friends pass away. So they're very alone. A lot of times they've lost a spouse. And they just want to be listened to. And we shouldn't be hiding away our elderly. The same as, we shouldn't be hiding away our disabled friends because it's, some people might think it's an inconvenience, but it shouldn't be an inconvenience. We should consider it an honor to be there for our elderly and for our friends who may have struggles that, are, maybe struggles that we don't have, but we should have the kind of compassion where we support them and look out for them. So yeah. Ocha just said, yeah, I feel bad because my brother hardly ever talks to my mom, and she rarely gets to see her grandkids even though they live only 15 minutes away. Right. Like, human younger brother lives in a pretty far away state, so he can't come to visit as easily, and he does have kids. Human older brother lives nearby, but, he has kind of more of a dragon personality than I have sometimes, But we should all be looking after not just our kids. We should not all, we need to be a village for all the people in our lives, whether they're young, whether they're elderly. We should be looking out for each other. And we should make it so that people are supported, so that all the stress doesn't fall on one person's shoulders, because that's too much. That's kind of what I've been dealing with for the past couple of years, of people putting responsibility on my shoulders and not for other things, not just human mother, but for other things as well, where it's just too much for one person. And so, I've been working on trying to narrow things down and make sure I'm making time for myself, because I don't, as much as I like to be there for people, I also need people to be there for me. And that's one of the reasons why I love Panda so much, because he, I'm sorry. He really looks out for me as much as I try to look out for him. And I don't have a lot of people in my life who do that. Most of the time, people just expect me to fix things for them. And when I'm having a hard time, they just kind of disappear on me. Or they decide I'm the bad guy because I can't do all the things that they want me to do. And it's very hard. Because I wish I could, I wish I had the energy to make things better for everybody. And there's only so much that one person can do. So I try to do my best, and sometimes what ends up happening is people ask for more and more and more, and it gets to the point where I can't be there. There's limits. And for me, the priority is my family and my close loved ones. Those are the ones who I want to look out for the most, because they're the ones who are the most important to me. And, I try my best to be there for others as well, but again, I have my limits, so I have to set my boundaries. And sometimes people vilify me for that, for saying I can't do this anymore, that I have to step back. I can't be responsible for someone who has been abused, who I've taken in my home, who expects me to be their mother. And expects me to be able to afford to pay for everything for them, even though I don't even make a middle class income right now, or our people being like, well, why aren't you fixing this for your mom? And it's like, well, I don't have the time to, because I have to work. If I quit my job to just take care of human mother, we wouldn't be able to afford rent. So what do they think I'm supposed to do? I think people need to understand the reality of the situation is that I'm not wealthy. I do my best to be responsible with my income. But a lot of times it's other people who expect a lot of me when it comes to not just my time, but my income. So I don't know. It's hard. It's very hard. And I try my best, but I'm always grateful that there are so many people in my life too who are very kind, and I appreciate all of you, of course. I think that, I talk about this a lot, but I really want this community to be a community of people who are kind and are compassionate for others. Yeah. If I quit my job, Lost Genre says it's best with a situation like this. Tell them if you think it's that easy and you can do better, you quit and do it, or at least help me. See what they say. Yeah, true. Very true. Yeah. But yeah, this is an ugly world we live in right now. And, I know that there's only so much that each of us can do. But I think collectively, if we do our best to help, to be there for the people around us, we start creating a more positive community of people around us automatically. So, you know, I hope, again, I always hope that if there's anything you gain from coming and watching my streams, it's that, that, you know, that you all know how important it is to be kind to people, and that we deserve to have places to chill out and have fun and de-stress so we can continue to go on with our daily lives and, do our best. We all need to rest. We all need to take breaks. We all need support. No one person should bear the responsibility of everybody else's well-being, unless they actively volunteer for it, and if they are actively qualified to do so, because it's a lot of responsibility. It's a lot of stress. So yeah, I want this to be a healthy, thoughtful, happy, supportive community. I'm a glass full kind of otaku. When things get to where they are now or worse, I always know that the road gets rough, but there's always a light at the end. Yes. So there's a quote that I say I love from Buddhism. To paraphrase it, it pretty much says, "We are in winter, and winter always turns to spring." And I always try to think about that. Sometimes it's hard and the world feels cold and unfriendly, but it doesn't stay that way. Even the cycle of nature doesn't stay that way. We'd have to do some pretty screwed up things to mess with the cycle of nature enough that winter doesn't become spring. So, I think as hard as things can be sometimes, we always need to remember that things are cycles, and we always have to make sure that we're looking out, taking care of ourselves and each other through the hard times, but remembering that there's always good times to be had too. I used to, when I was younger, this is very much turning into more of a Zatsudan than I expected. When I was younger, I had a hard time believing that I deserved anything good. I had to deal with a lot of hardship growing up. And I had to teach myself to accept the good times and, not be super negative and feel like the world was ending. And I think because I worked so hard on that, I'm a far more positive person, and I think a far more realistic person. The reality is there are hard times, sure, but the reality is also that there are good times, and both happen. We can't ignore the good times just because things have been hard, and we can't ignore the difficult things just because we want everything to be good all the time. So, yeah. Yeah. Look at what you got now. A loving boyfriend, a great stream, and friends all over. Yeah. Yeah, I did not... Honestly, I had no idea how streaming would go for me. And I've been so happy. Like, I have almost 200 followers here on Twitch. I have over 1,000 people over on Blue Sky. Like, what? That's kind of crazy. And even though I'm not really a numbers person, it's only been half a year that I've been doing this. It's just a couple weeks over half a year that I've been streaming, and to me, this feels really damn successful. I'm amazed that I've gotten to this point. So, and I'm so grateful. Like, I have met so many awesome people through this journey so far. Like, I've gotten involved in some interesting communities, and I've made some really cool friends. Hi, love. I'm so glad to see you here. And thank you. I'm so proud of you too, Panda. Seriously. You work your ass off. Like, I see it all the time. I'm so amazed by how hard you work on yourself, and it inspires me a lot because I see, you know, what you do with your time, and you know, trying to make your life something that you feel good about, and it makes me so happy to see that. Anyway, so yeah, I think I'm gonna start playing the game because it's nice. I like this game. It's nice. You know, it hits me in the smushy. You know, it hits me in the way that I like, that I the same way the same part of me that enjoyed Smushy Come Home. It's just really, it's a little more adventurous, sure, but it's just chill and nice and enjoyable. So yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and switch to the game. I might be a little less talkative, but I think it's good. So let's go. All right, let's get the game started. There it goes. Yay! Do, 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 do. Yeah. Okay.
Okami.
All right. So I think this was a new area that we started in last time, if I recall correctly. Let's see what happens from here. I'm probably gonna just take it really slow today. I might not. I'll see about whether I do the voices as much or not. Because actually my sinuses are a little stuffed up right now. Okay, so, right. So we ended up over here. Let's see. That guy's selling stuff. There's these guys. Okay, and he has an arrow, so let's talk to him some more. What is it, Poochie? Do you want to pass through to the city? Well, we have a problem then. I was guarding the city checkpoint when suddenly the order was given not to let anyone enter. Look, see how they raised the big drawbridge on the far bank? Normally I'd fire a flaming arrow as a signal to lower it. But there's nobody at the guard post over there. Wonder if my comrades in the city would notice if I fired an arrow. No matter, I don't have anything to light an arrow with anyway. You see, the sacred flames of the phoenix statues suddenly went out. It's been one thing after another lately. What is it, Poochie? I have to go. My planet needs me! I love the meme of the little girl in midair. If you've ever seen that one, my planet needs me, or my people need me, and whoever took a picture of it timed it perfectly, because it looks like the girl is literally flying. He does sound like a cross between Animal Crossing and an automated phone bot. Maybe he works for Tom Nook. Anyway, at least I can get some well-earned rest. Why not have a bite to eat and take a break with me? I can't take a break. I need to go to the other side. Is there any way I can get there? Can I... let's see. Can I make a bridge? No, 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 no. No, I can't. I need to light something. All right, so what are my skills again? Okay. I have water spout, vine, water lily, bloom, cherry bomb, power slash, rejuvenation, and sunrise. I don't have any control over fire. Okay. Let's check out the logbook. Divine wind cessation. There's only one explanation for why the divine wind stopped. The Crimson Helm. Beast now dwells within the Gale Shrine. Okay. Travel guide. A mother tree. In Kamiki village, there grows a magnificent tree called Konohana. Konohana has split its roots to form many trees throughout Nippon in order to better protect and preserve the glory of nature. Differing accounts shed little light on the tree's true origin. Some say that the tree was born when it sprouted from a dead god. Others speculate that it was transplanted from a faraway land. No story yet concocted can be considered the true version. However, the sensation I get as I draw Konohana is unmistakable. This is a plant that cannot be tamed by a mere brush. The miracle of its existence is more than can be sketched. One wonders what secrets lie behind its broad leaves. Interesting. I wonder if that's related to... I heard tell it's a giant chicken. Okay, let's see. Anything else? Okay. I'm gonna assume that there's something else I need to do before coming here. I think I'm gonna go the other way. Because the other way is where the dogs are. We have 2 dogs in the right-hand side, and I am way over at the lower left. Okay, so let's go back. Let's go back this way. I don't think I'm ready for this spot yet, because I don't have any fire magic. Blue seed. I've heard of blue seed. Digi said the tree thing kind of sounds like something I know from an anime called Blue Seed, which is very loosely based on Susanoo. Wait, Susanoo. I have heard of Blue Seed. I have not, oh, look. Look, the light. The light is back. Can we explode it now? Maybe we can... oh, no. It's daytime. Oh, no. It might still work. Here. No, it's not opening. Okay. I am going to go back because I feel like we're kind of on the hunt for the dogs, and this is not where the dogs are. Okay, so this is where we went up to Princess Fusei. Come on, you can do it, Ami. Real slow there. Alright. Did I get all that? Yeah, no. There we go. Blue Seed is a great anime if you see Discotheques Rescue. Okay. Will do. That's good advice. Panda and I are planning on going to an anime convention this summer. I was kind of thinking it might be nice for us to try and see if we want to go to the local Renaissance Fair as well this summer. That might be kind of fun for us to do. Where I live, they do a Renaissance Fair in the winter and in the summer. I'm just gonna check the map real quick. Taka Pass. Okay. Anime Central in May. Ooh, cool. Zoom out. Okay. So no, this is... Okay, we're getting closer. Okay. Ultimate Mirror, Origin Mirror. Okay, so those are the save points. Okay. So, I think I don't want to go fully this way yet. I think I want to be out here. Yeah, Panda and I are both working on our cosplay. I have part of my cosplay, like a very small part. I have the boots. We decided that we were going to cosplay as Lloyd and Yor from Spy Family. So that'll be fun. And it'll be comfortable because they wear pretty easy clothes. You know, like actual normal clothes. And we're probably going to do like their relaxed clothes, not like their like, you know, not Lloyd in a suit or Yor in her assassin outfit. It's going to be more focused on, you know, their chill out at home outfits. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to check the map again. Okay, zoom out. Okay, this is good. So, let's keep going back. Okay. Now did we have to go in here? I think... Wait. I'm just trying to remember where we entered. Okay, I think we entered here. Ooh. Yummy bamboo! Bamboo! So this week is gonna be... Guesses here include Tony Oliver, Anaris Quinones, and Zeno Robinson. Oh, so when they're casual, nice. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna try and get the, like, the red sweater that Yor wears. Oh, did we not feed? Oh, we must feed our friends. We missed these guys. This is good that we're going back. I think they like the herbs. There we go. Yeah, so I'm gonna wear the, like, that red sweater outfit that Yor has. And I have like the short boots for it. But I'm definitely gonna have to have a wig because my hair is not black or straight, or nor do I have bangs like yours. So we'll have to. I'll definitely have to wear a wig, which will be hot. I'm not excited about that. It's hard enough that I have a lot of hair anyway. But trying to tuck all that hair underneath a wig is going to be a challenge. Okay. Boing. Oh, you know what I realized? I can do water spout. What's he whistling for? Oh, it's you again. Hey, have you seen my dog Ume? He's always with me when I'm fishing. He disappeared while I wasn't looking. You don't think he could have fallen into the deep abyss, do you? No. Oh dear. Okay. The water in the deep abyss has always been a bit murky. But today you can barely see into it and the surface is all ripply. My fisherman's intuition tells me that the legendary fish has awoken. People call it Whopper. Easier than who I want to cosplay as. If I ever do cosplay, I want to do the Sonic Adventure version of the Eggman. Yeah, that would be fun. Actually, I do have some pieces to dress up as Renaissance me. I have pieces for that, so I'm kind of looking forward to that idea as well. Dear God, help him if he's directed by James Cameron. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah. He'll be holding on to his dog with the dog's arms out, going, yay, and then like listening to Celine Dion, and then the next moment they're all dying in the water. They say it swallowed the moon reflected on the water's surface. You don't think Whopper swallowed up Ume too, do you? Well, I can't find him alone. Maybe I'll go talk to that lady who's visiting Hitoshio Spring. Okay. I want to go... Ooh, wait a moment. Did I do something with that before? Hi there, Wolfie. Have you seen my son? He's been totally obsessed with fishing lately, but I'm worried that he's not respecting nature like he should. If he's not careful, he could get himself into all kinds of trouble. They're all dying in the water. Colder, colder. I want you to look colder. Act like me, damn it. You know, for all that James Cameron is supposed to be a very brilliant director, I don't know that you need to actually be mean to your actors in order to get them to give the performance you'd like. At least that's what I think. All right, let's go. I think I can do this. So, there we go. Haha, I knew we could do this. Holy Bone M. Restores 10 units of solar energy. Oh, that's good. There we go. Another bead. How many beads do I have? Wait, hang on a second. How many beads do I have? No. Okay. Oh, new logbook. Journal. Ume's lost again. Have you seen my dog? Deep abyss. Okay. Back. Back. Stray beads. How many do I have? Oh my gosh, there are 99 stray beads? You should be kicking rocks and scaring rabbits just like any woodsman. That's a lot of stray beads. Goodness. Alright, well, I've learned something here. We're gonna have a lot of stray beads to find. Let me see. Let me see if I go this way. Okay, there we go. Back up a little more, maybe? There we go. Ooh. Bullhorn. I think I have a few of those, actually. And it's nighttime. Enough for half a Mardi Gras. So it's not a Mardi... I only have enough for a Mardi Gras, not a Mardi Gras. Unfortunately. I used to have a friend who, she was originally from, not you again. There. Oh, those are ginkgo leaves. I just realized that. Nice. I think I just got a... Okay. Alright. Cool. Cool. Let's see. I'm gonna look at the map again, just to make sure we're going in the right direction. Zoom out. Oh, one of the dogs is in this area. Okay. What if Ume is one of the spirit dogs? Is Ume a spirit dog? Steel Soul Sake. Sake brewed with the spirit of steel. Temporarily increases defense. Just tried to keep my phone in my pocket was in my hand, and I was reading something on it. Yeah. Oh my gosh, one of my favorite human mother stories is one day she came up to me and she said, "Aspen, where are my reading glasses?" And I looked at her and I completely burst out laughing. Because not only did she have a pair of her reading glasses on her head, they were on her like she had put them on the top of her head like sunglasses, but she also had a second pair of reading glasses on her eyes. So she had 2 pairs of reading glasses on her head in some way. And she asked me, where are my reading glasses? I'm like, you're wearing 2 pairs of reading glasses, Mom. So yeah, that was pretty hilarious. Map again, maybe? Yeah. I sometimes forget that I'm wearing my computer glasses when I'm at work. And it's funny because sometimes people think I wear glasses because I need them for, like, vision. But it's really just that I wear them because sometimes I get my eyes get a little tired from computer stuff at work. This isn't bad. Because this isn't stark white. Alright, maybe what I need to do is go into here. Can't remember what all this was about. Let's just go see. Oh, right. There's a tree in here. And let's see. Let's see our map again. Okay. So the dog is somewhere in the middle there. Alright, so we're not in the right place. Okay. So we need to exit. And then... Alright, so we need to be... Alright, map. Map again. Okay, so somewhere around here. Okay. Okay. Huh. So we've got this thing here. Deep Abyss. Okay. This is the famous Deep Abyss of Agata Forest. Okay, so what do I do with the Deep Abyss here? Interesting. Okay, well, I'm gonna cross this. Oh. Well, that was not helpful. Okay. Let's see. And the pup is around here some. Oh, look. Another stray bead. I'm gonna find all of them. Alright. Interesting. Oh, feed. No, come back. Feed the cute little... That's a cute little bird. That's such a cute little bird. I don't think I've seen one of those birds yet. Or at least I don't think I've fed one of those birds yet. I just want to check to see what kind of bird that is. Animal tone? I guess it's a type of... Oh, no, here it is. That's a nightingale. Okay. Alright, so... Let's see. Maybe I'll find out some more info in here. I forget what this was. Alright, there's some food. And some more food. And... Okay. I think that's it. Okay. Okay. Let's exit. So what am I gonna do with the abyss? Alright, I fed those guys. Alright, there's an ad break coming in about half an hour. Or, not half an hour. 30 minutes. 3 minutes. 3. Not 30 minutes. 3. Let's see. What if I... Purify? There was a reaction there. Of sorts. What if I do no. So I was just gonna make another one of those. Slash. That bunny just jumped into the water. What are you doing, bunny? That's deep. Let's see. What were my... So I have water spout. Water spout. What if I just water spout? Okay. Did nothing. What about this area? No. Feeling a little stuck. Alright, hang on. What I'm gonna do is during the ad break, I will do a little research. I shall do a little research. Oh my gosh, how many notifications is... Oh my goodness, okay. Alright, let's see. Oh, hang on a moment. I can't take waiting for Coyote versus Acme anymore. Hang on a moment. Did I just get good news? No, I didn't. That's okay. Let's see. Let me find my handy dandy guide. Easy. Okay, Princess Fuse. And the Canine Warriors. I need to find them. Okay, wait a moment. Did I? Once back in Agata Forest, filled by Kokiri. Locate Kokiri and speak with him. I'll tell you that his dog has disappeared. It'll be a while before you find Ume. Head north along the Upward sloping path to reach the Hito-Isho Spring and speak with Kushi. Okay. Alright. So I need to speak with somebody before I talk with Ume. Okay, so we're talking Hito-Isho Spring here. Yep. And the Hito-Isho Spring. Oh, north on the upper slope reach the Hito-Isho Spring and speak with Kushi. He should be standing by. Okay. No, I wanted a lily pad, silly game. Thank you. Silly game. Okay, so... Alright, Hito-Isho Spring. Nope. Again, really? Okay, fishies. Come on, fishy. I'm gonna take you down, fishy. Okay. Thank you. Supposed to go up the slope and speak with Kushi. Kushi. Which is not his dad, if I recall correctly. Okay. I thought I saw something over there. Oh no, that's just light. Is it up this slope? Hello, bear. Isn't this that bear that was sleeping back in Hana Valley? Man, he's still sleeping? Let's call him Sleepy. Okay, he's not. Newly dubbed Sleepy. And that's one happy bear. Seems he really likes spheres. Cool. Okay. But I don't think this is where I need to be. So there's a slope. Ugh. Oh, I think I know what slope they're talking about. Okay. Okay. I think it's over this way, but hang on. There's this guy here. That is... Hey, Chalky, this is Kiba. That is not Kushi. Yes. Oh. No. I only have one. Okay. Later, dude. So, there's a pass. Is there something over this way? I said up, but the picture looks more like it's a down, not an up. Except it goes up here. No. Ah! Thank you, Game Guide, for being extremely vague. Extremely vague. There is nothing up in here. There is nothing, nothing, nothing. Head north along an upward sloping path. Wait. North? North. Head north on an upward sloping path. North. Okay. Alright. Oh, not this way then, because north would not be that direction. We are heading east right now. North would be up. Alright, here's silly, weird kid. Head north. This is Karude. Yeah, I agree. Nature can be dangerous. People even lose their lives to it if they don't respect it. True. Yeah, I think you are right to be concerned about your son because he is trouble. But you are not Kushi. I need Kushi. So Kushi's supposed to be on an upward slope. Maybe Kushi is actually all the way through this area. It's a Capcom game, you expect it easy. Okay, I've had to look up walkthroughs for almost every Ace Attorney game I've played because my point A and point B wasn't Capcom's. I have had that same problem with Ace Attorney. Oh my gosh, you know what? I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. There's one, there's the samurai TV show character one, in Ace Attorney, and I never can figure out what the heck I'm supposed to be doing with that. It's ridiculous. Okay. Kohari. Head north along an upward sloping path to reach the Itoshio Spring. Itoshio Spring. Itoshio Spring. Okay, map. Friendly map again. Where is this Hitoisho? Wait, Hitoisho? Oh, Hitoshio Spring. Shinsu Field. Or is it, am I supposed to talk to the person in the building? Maybe I should talk to the psychic. Maybe the psychic will help me. Or maybe she won't. I have no clue. Maybe she's just gonna cause me trouble. And I'll spend unnecessarily large amounts of money. I know the solution. I know what to present. Only the evidence wasn't the one that fit. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I know what you're talking about. A room with miscounted costumes, a mascot head, and a costume with a piece missing. Which do you think I use when the evidence is a costume that's been used? I would think it's the costume with a piece missing. But it's probably not. It's probably the mascot head. Right. Right. Okay. You are troubled. If you have money, I'm ready. Okay. I'll pay. I can see it. The 8 spirits are eager to undo the evil that blocks the wind. Aid a troubled girl near a holy spring deep in the forest. Okay. Aid a troubled girl. Okay. So she knows what's going on. She's saying the same thing that the game guide is saying. The room with the miscounted cost. So it's not the costumes itself, it's the room. Sure. It makes sense. It always makes sense. Supposedly. Everything makes sense. Okay. Head north along an upward sloping path. Hito Isho Spring. Oh, is Hito Isho Spring the place that I have to enter over here? No, that's the Suda Ruins. Lovely. I don't have my lovely guide, Monster Mama, today, so I'll just have to figure it out. Oh my gosh, I get it. It's nighttime, fine. Okay. Okay, game. Really? I didn't really look too far in here. Okay, yeah, no little girl in here. Fed those friends there. Yeah, my brain's definitely tired. I have every Ace Attorney game, including multiple versions of the same game, and that much of a fan. I do, I love the ridiculousness of Ace Attorney. I really do love it. Because it's just so preposterous. And the characters are so ridiculous. Alright, so where's the spring? Spring! Where is the spring? It didn't say to go on the little islands. It says a spring and go up a slope. Oh, Wendy Old Bag. Yeah, the names are hilarious. Okay. No, I don't want to battle. I'm too busy finding things. Leave me alone. Yeah, I'm kind of done with both of you. It said to the north, but there's no spring up to the north. What are they talking about? I want to get in there. Here. In here, there wasn't a spring. And here was the caverns with the water. Right, and I fixed all that. Right. That's not a spring, though. That is... Game? It's been a rough day. Come on. Be kind. Please. Yeah, Wendy Old Bag. I love the names in Ace Attorney, and I hope they never ever stop being absolutely ridiculous in that game. The edginess of Miles Edgeworth. The goofiness of the fact that our friend is a psychic in the game. Whopper! Hiro Isho Spring. Oh, wait a moment. No! Oh my gosh, you guys are annoying! Woo! Wait a moment. Just got a fang. I love how smart some of the games are too. Had a good laugh at Godot's name. Yes. I agree. There! Hitoshio Spring! Thank you. I feel like I'm a lost tourist who does not speak the language. Alright, here we go. Cushy! The water here is so lovely and cool. Now, time to get to work. Finally found it! Finally! Here's the barrel. Why, looky here, it's Cushy. Legend here, sweetie. Oh, it's you, Snowy and Isun. I'm here making preparations for an annual Kamiki festival. I've come to get water for the holy sake we offer to the gods. People say that the water here at Hitoishio Spring has divine powers. We always mix it with the holy sake we use for the festival. That way we can make 8 purification sake. Whoa, hold it right there, sister. 8 purification sake? You mean the sacred drink of ancient legend? That's right. It goes back to the legend of Nagi and Shiranui. It was the miraculous sake that they used to defeat Orochi. Apparently, they got the beast drunk and cut off its heads. It certainly smells strong enough to intoxicate anything. I feel like I'm a lost tourist. You didn't ask Ryoga Hibiki for directions. You know what? I might as well have. I might as well have asked Ryoga Hibiki for directions. Yeah, I just found a little pig, a little black pig with a scarf. With a jaunty little scarf. I thought he was, you know, the welcoming committee. I don't know if the legend's really true or not, but we offer sake to the gods at the festival time and pray for peace. Ah. So I probably need to fill that with water. By the way, sweetie, I was wondering, you plan on filling this barrel with water? That's right. We need enough for all the villagers. So I have to fill this barrel to the brim. She's a Ranma fan, a dragon, loves video games. Panda, keep this lady. I think there's other reasons he keeps me around too. I made really good cinnamon rolls when he was here. It was my first time making cinnamon rolls. It was my first time working with yeast, and I got it right. With you know, he provided emotional support, but they turned out pretty well, I think. But how are you gonna fill such a big barrel with water? And even if you can, how are you gonna carry it back to the village? That's a good point. I hadn't thought of that, because Susanoo usually takes care of it. He can handle the barrel as if it was as light as a feather. There's no way I can manage on my own, though. Poor thing. How silly of me not to think this through. I wonder how I'm going to get the spring water into the barrel. I know how. Hehe, Josh said the same thing. Silly girl. Well, I know what to do here. But I need to finish the conversation. Also, I wonder how... Yes. Well, I suppose you could fill this barrel with spring water if you could harness the power of water. Yes, I know this. That's odd. How did the water get into the barrel all by itself? There we go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now, I will admit, I am not the best at video games, but I do enjoy them. Especially when they have good storytelling. Yay, how wonderful. The barrel's full of spring water already. This will be the plenty for the holy sake for the festival. Excellent. Now we just have to get it back to the village. Carry it home? But it must weigh a ton. What the heck? Oh no! No! Leave her alone! What is it? Do you want some of the spring water? So, sorry, I'll be getting this barrel out of your way soon. Why is it attacking her? Back, you beast. Susanoo's back. Give me a game with a creation area. I'll give you a fanfiction army. Seriously, I got Toph Beifong as WWE Women's Champion. Yes! Oh, that's awesome. Yes, Toph should be WWE Women's Champion. That makes total sense. Here I am just taking a walk and... Oh, wait, I have to do Susanoo voice. I'm going to try. Here I am just taking a walk and look what I ran into. Oh, it's you! Susanoo? Wait, is Susanoo actually going to be helpful? Take one more step towards the lady and it'll be your last. Oh no. Come on. No, Susanoo! No, don't lose your nerve, Susanoo. We're all here to help you. Great Susanoo, descendant of the hero Nagi, forbids it. Do not despair, my fair Kushi. Susanoo is here to save the day. Uh-oh, this looks bad. I swing my sword in the name of love. Susanoo style sword of passion. Here I go. You. Oh, I need to do the brush. Ack, what happened? Leave! Oh. Shoot. Ack! But what happened? Okay, I need to follow the instructions. Okay. Leave. My... Kushi. Alone. Huh? Susanoo, watch out. Okay. There we go. Bonk. Hey, you did it, Pops. That was amazing. You looked kind of scared at first, but you pulled it off for the lady. Wait, did I just eat Isun? Did I just eat Isun? What? Susanoo? Thank you. I didn't expect to see such ferocious monsters here. Are you hurt? Susanoo? I knew it. I knew it all along. Strange things have been happening ever since then. First that boulder in Kamiki, then that battle with the bear. And now this. My sword is possessed by a strange power. You listen to me, O spirit who defiles my sword. I shall not be controlled like some puppet. By the gods, I shall expose your nefarious scheme. Oh. Okay, so I did put him in my mouth. Gross! Wolf spit! The magnificent Isun takes offense. Why, I oughta... Where's Susanoo? Where did he go running off to? I'm hooked on a feeling. He left without saying a word. What was he thinking? I mean, he just won the battle? Now it's time to win the damsel's heart. At least he could have stuck around to help carry the barrel. It's okay. I think he's busy with other things. There's no need to bother him with this. I'm sure I can manage on my own from here anyway. It sounded like that Kokari kid. Is he in trouble again? I better go check it out, Amy. Whoa, the canine tracker suddenly appeared. So that means... Okay, let's see. That's red. Feed a friend. Because, you know, we gotta feed our friends. Okay, I can't go around that way. Let's go up here real quick. Because... Oh, I can't go through that. Okay. Because it's too dense. Alright, let's see. Alright, lead me to our friend. What is this? Fusion Shoe Field. Okay. There's something I can do with these, isn't there? No. Okay. Are we going into here? Hey, wait. You're not gonna check on the kid. Oh. I need to go back. Hooked on a feeling. Okay, I'm gonna go back. I think... So they really are concerned about that kid Kokari. Let's go check on him. Alright. Alright. I think Susanoo thinks he's Barry White. But he's more... who is he? I think he might be more, Justin Bieber than Barry White. Okay, it's over this way. We have to talk to the little boy. Grr. Gee, mister. Wow. Wow, looks like you got a big one there, kid. With all that noise you were making, I was sure the monsters... Yeah, he's more of a tool operator than a smooth operator. The heck? Oh, there's Puppy. Ume! Shoot, my leg snapped! Curse you, Whopper! I'm gonna catch you. You're gonna pay for what you did to Ume. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear, kid. Deep abyss. Okay. Okay, Hey kid, where's that humongous fish come from? Now wasn't that your dog Ume in its mouth? That was the legendary fish whopper. They say it swallowed the moon reflected on the water's surface. So it really does live in these deep murky waters. Well, it's gonna pay for gobbling up good ol' Ume. Sheesh, that dog sure gets eaten a lot, doesn't he? I don't have any fishing line left, but I'll snag that whopper yet. This shall be a battle to avenge Ume. Hey, Ami, this is getting more interesting by the minute. That whopper, or whatever it's called, would be quite a catch. Let's stick around and see if we can help him catch it. Help catch the legendary whopper? You bet. No way. Of course. That's what I wanted to hear. Let's get psyched up. We're gonna end this game with a dog. Okay, Amy, you got the basic idea, right? Draw a line from the tip of the pole to whopper. Don't let this be the big one that got away. Where's whopper? Alright, let's just do this. Oh. I got a bite! Wait. How did we do this again? Movement keys. Opposite direction. Okay. Power gauge. Life gauge. Power slash. When fish should catch. Okay. Uh-oh. Sorry, kid. Aw, easy come, easy go. Okay. Yes, try again. No. Okay. There. No. Okay, come on. What? Why is not... Okay. No. Okay, it worked when I was... Okay. Maybe I'm not connecting to the fish correctly. From the pole to... Oh, yes, that's right. Pole to the water. Duh. Okay. Okay, that was a lobster. Oh, okay, yeah. I'm just supposed to press it. Okay. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Alright. Trying to remember all the things that you do in this game. Oh. Ugh. Okay. I have to press the button once and then hold it down. It's too quick! Alright. This is giving me practice, though. There we go. So I caught a lobster. Or a crawfish. Okay. Okay. Ah. Almost. Because I'm just gonna catch a bunch of fish until I get the right one. You caught killifish. Okay. Oh. Oh. This is it. Oh dear. This is gonna be hard. Ah. Okay. Caught Whopper. I caught Whopper! I caught Whopper! I am a better fisher in video games than I am in real life. I can't catch anything in real life. Except for, like, bad fish. Had to catch a lot of fish in Sonic Frontier before I got Eggman's audio journal. I knew I could do it! I finally caught Whopper! And here I was so worried about you, kid. You're one fine fisherman. You should be proud of yourself. Keep on fishing and make sure to bring along plenty of line. How could I ever fish again? I mean, what about Ume? He's never coming back! Oh boy, the crybaby's back. Don't worry, after all, you... It's pretty. Look at the pretty water. And there's the moon. Look, the surface of Deep Abyss is as bright and shiny as a mirror. The moon's reflection sure looks beautiful. Where's the moon? How come I can only see its reflection? Did I rescue the moon? Hey, look, another constellation! Okay. 1, 2, 3. It's a bunny! Oh, and it has a mochi pounding hammer. It's pounding mochi. Hey. What? I was just playing with the mochi. Ah, Amaterasu, origin of all that is good and mother to us all. After your departure, I hid myself within the moon's reflection. consumed by a fish, I patiently waited this day in its belly. Now that a glimmer of hope has returned, I have returned. I, Yumigami, god of the moon, cover the earth in pale moonlight. Use this light in conjunction with your own on your own perilous journey. I don't know if you guys have ever had that white rabbit candy. I think it's either Japanese or Chinese, the white rabbit candy. And it has kind of like a milky taste to it. I used to love it when I would get that when I used to go trick-or-treating in the area I used to live. Because where I used to live was very diverse. And so you wouldn't just get the regular, like, Hershey's stuff. Sometimes you'd get candies from other countries. So that was always fun. Yumigami, the god of moon power. So Whopper really did swallow up the moon reflected on the water. Now you have the crescent brush technique. That one lets you draw a crescent moon in the sky. Oh, so like we could do the sun, and now we can do the moon. Pardon me. It's said to have the power to turn day into night. Wonder if it really works. Could drawing a curved line in the sky really bring out the moon? Alright. Nope. Nice. That's a pretty moon. In the name of the moon, I will punish you. The moon, it's come out. Now you have the power to turn day into night. Think of the nighttime pleasures that await. Oh, you dirty mind, Isun. I know that sounds tempting, but first things first. We still have that matter with Princess Fuse asked us to deal with. There we go. Hey! It's Ume! He came out of Whopper's mouth. You okay, boy? I knew it'd spit Ume out. That's why I told you not to worry. I mean, just look at him. He looks like one nasty-tasting canine. Really? Yeah. Never seen an uglier looking dog in my life. That's not an ugly dog. He's cute. What? I say something wrong? Just trying to have a little fun like I do with Furball here. White Wolf, how did you come to bear the canine tracker? There's a familiar scent in the air. My former comrades. It emanates from your body. What the? Well, it's none of your business how we smell. It's just that we don't like taking baths, that's all. Hey, wait. Did he just say something about the canine tracker? Yeah, right. I say something wrong? Yeah. Bleep you, buddy, indeed. The canine tracker decrees that its bearer shall prove his strength. I shall be the one to test it. No. Canine warrior Jin. It's not Ume, it's Jin. What the? You're one of the 8 canine warriors? Ami, this dog means business. Oh, I guess we have to fight him. Never thought we'd be going up against you. Bring it on, Snaggletooth. Okay. No! Stay away. Stay away. He peed on me! No. No. Oh. There we go. Alright, I've got some yen. I know Princess Fusei summons me. It is my duty to defeat Crimson Helm, defiler of Gale's shrine. But this child and his father saved me from certain death. I owe my life to them. What am I to do? You give me your orb of duty? Orb of duty or orb of duty? Hard to tell with dogs. You obtained Justice Orb. Okay, this is the Justice Orb. What's this? The Power Orb has chosen you. I don't need to worry anymore. Even separated, the hearts of the canine warriors beat as one. I shall spend the rest of my years here under the guise of Ume. What? You're not going back to the princess? After all we went through? I learned how... Okay, I just got an achievement for using the crescent. Alright. Alright, I think it's time to go to the next phase, which is... Zoom out. We have to go all the way back. Okay. Alright, let's do this way. Haha. Miss me, now you gotta kiss me. Uh-oh. This one didn't miss me. Yeah. I'm ready for you. Go for it. I got you. Yeah. Look at you, all helpless. Oh, look, I got you. Ah, see? Easy peasy. Alright, let's go back. So I think what I'll do... I will go to where the next task is. Which I think is through here. So we can find the next dog. Oh, wait. Hang on. Let me check my guide just to be sure. Okay. I have to go back to Kaneki Village. Okay, so I don't think this is the way, right? I think I have to go... There's another way to Kaneki Village. Right? Look, there's a place to rest here. Where travelers use it back. Okay. To Kaneki Village. Which is down where? I think maybe there was a... Is it behind the waterfall? I think that's where we go. Right? Or am I wrong? I could be wrong. Yes, because that's where this is. Where the heck do I go back to Kaneki Village? I think I'm channeling Ryoga again. I don't need to worry anymore. Wow, anybody else think he's gonna fly like Tails at the rate that's wagging? You're right, right. Okay, how do I get up to Kaneki Village? Okay, it's hard to remember everything. Okay. Yeah, the dog. Look at how fast that dog's tail is wagging. Okay, maybe if I do this. Okay, Kaneki Village. Donde está? Taka Pass. I got a forest. You know what? What I should really be doing? I should be saving. Here, let's do this. Let's go over here. And Kaneki Village is over somewhere. Okay. Let me do a save point, at the very least. And maybe get some more good things. Okay. Who's worse at attraction, Zoro or Yoga? Yes, I wish to save here. Alright, now I can do... Oh, there's something I could do with the mermaid. Do I have a... Oh, do I have... I don't think I have a mermaid pearl. There! You know what? That is not a mermaid spring? Okay. I guess it's not. Map. Do I have a mermaid spring here? No, I don't. Okay. Alright. Can I do something funny? Like this? Or like this? Okay. Alright. No, I want to be in the thing. There we go. Alright, what do I do here? Oh. Oh. Oh! Wait a moment. Let's go back. And to my little friend here. Okay. I think I need to. What? Why is it not making this easier? Do I have to double jump? Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's see if I can try again. Alright. No! Oh, maybe I can jump over to the roof? Oh, or... Yeah, I'm just gonna struggle with that. Alright. I know me. Alright, I think I'm just gonna stop here. E. Zoom out. Okay, so the way through... Okay, I think the way through is the waterway. Okay. Alright, so... Alright. Bear loves round things. Bring him some round things. No. We don't let... Ugh. Okay. Ugh. No, you know what? I'm not even gonna worry. Because I just want to get to Kaneki Village, por favor. Yeah. Who's worse at direction, Zoro or Yoga? I don't know. I think Zoro's. Zoro can get to places. Ryoga is another story entirely. No. Close fist. Okay. Yeah. Right. No. I'm out of juice. There we go. No. You know what? I'm just gonna go for it. It's good enough. I fed those friends. Okay. I guess we'll go down, down, down to Goblin Town. Let's head to Kamiki. Let's try to get there as quickly as possible. Now that is a mermaid spring. But I'm not going to take that mermaid spring because I don't need to. Because we're going to Kamiki Village. And I am going to save in Kamiki Village. So we'll start from the right place next time. The dog. That's the dog. Okay, let me just find my save point. Where is my save point? Save point. ¿Dónde está el save point? Map again, I guess. Meh. Ultimate mirror. Oh, right. Okay, it's back across the bridge. Yeah, it's right there. Okay. Alright. So that dog right there that the boy is playing with, I think that's our final dog. Alright. Yes. Alright. So I'm going to sign off for the night. Yeah, time for the morning barn raising. Yep. Alright. So, yeah. I am going to be... let's see. Quick game. Yes. Okay. You go back to just chatting really quick. So tomorrow I am going to be on Panda's stream. I will be there with Ocha as well. And we will be playing Gabriel Knight. I will make sure I have the game guide. Yes. It is a blast. Keep us posted on Human Mom sending us. Thank you so much, Digi. Thank you so much. I'll keep you guys updated, and you know, it's just hard. It's just hard. You know, she's not young, so she's gonna have problems. But we're just gonna do our best to take good care of her, because she is a sweet, wonderful elderly lady, and she deserves to have a good, happy life. So let's see, who am I going to invade? Let's see. Oh, why don't we raid? It's a Sierra game. Walkthroughs are necessary. Yeah. Hi, Gaspin. Let's raid or invade Winter Rain. Winter Rain is hosting the D&D game that I'm going to be in on Sunday. So let's go say hi to my Ice Dragon Brother. And let's have an awesome night. I hope to see everybody at Panda Stream tomorrow. And we're gonna go in now. All right, have a good night, everybody. Take care. Bye.